Hello everybody, this is Nick Nat Packer coming to you live from Virginia Beach, Virginia with my vlog for Vampire Diaries episode 2, The Hybrid. My last video for the birthday didn't work out, it was too long, so I have to make this short. Again we see with Stefan, I'm pretty sure that I was right in my thoughts from last time, that he is seriously in control. Seriously. But at the same time, he's at a point where he does not enjoy being with Klaus at all. He doesn't even really like to talk to Klaus unless it's absolutely necessary. But he stays with him, I'm almost 99% sure, out of a sense of obligation, because without Klaus he would not have been able to save Damon. So he feels like he kind of owes him some sort of fealty for some indeterminate length of time. It seems as though he still feels some brotherly obligation to Damon because he saved Damon's life. As the episode starts out, Elena, tries to give Damon some sort of comfort, and that's what she finally finds out about what happened to Andy. Not that Damon would tell her; it's splashed all over the news, so she really could miss it. Damon's trying to act nonchalant about it, but I mean, it's obvious that it has an effect on him. What irks me more than anything is that Elena doesn't seem to care. Now, she cares in that it affects Damon, in that it hurts Damon, but she doesn't care that Stefan did it. It's like it doesn't seem to faze her that he's going around killing people. And it kind of makes her a bit two-faced in a way, because if it had been Damon that had done the same thing, she would have been absolutely disgusted. Whereas with Stefan, oh no, he could be saved because he's Stefan. I don't know about you, but she liked it annoying. Anyway, she refuses to give up on him. She's hatched a plan of her own because Damon wants nothing to do with it. He's done. He doesn't believe that Stefan can be saved. So she hatches a plan with Alaric to go off of whatever information that Tyler can give them and track Stefan down. Because apparently, according to what Damon had, according to what she got from Alaric, from when Damon and he was tracking Stefan, he told her that they found out Klaus was trying to track down werewolves, apparently to make hybrids. So, who's the only werewolf in town? She goes to Tyler for help. Covers with that, Tyler wakes up the next morning. Caroline's gone, walk of shame. Of course, we all know she's not entirely gone. She's been shot by Mama Lockwood, who's really kind of stupid. Anyway, he doesn't realize she's gone, but Mama Lockwood does something kind of dumb. She puts vervain in Tyler's coffee to test him because she's afraid he's a vampire. Oh, lo and behold, you don't even know what's sleeping upstairs, do you? He doesn't realize that coffee's been dosed. It just tastes kind of off to him. I guess because he's a werewolf, but it doesn't affect him in that way. Pity if it had been Wolfsbane, totally different story. She, of course, goes and calls Caroline a whore and every other nasty name that you can think of. But Tyler kind of shrugs it off, his mom is his mom, blah, blah, blah. And he tries to make amends with Matt. It seems like that might happen at some time in the future, but I think Matt just kind of wants to keep himself, in his way. It's his way of staying out of things. He bonds with Jeremy a little bit over Vicky, and I'm starting to have some new theories about the whole Jeremy and Vicky debacle. Apparently, by Matt bringing over some of Vicky's personal belongings, they were able to get in tune with her because apparently she's asking for help. And now she says that she wants to come back and she thinks that she can. I don't know if that means come back as a human being, come back from the dead, or come back as a vampire. But no sooner does she say that than she disappears, and Anna comes back and says, "Don't trust her," which leads me to believe it's a very good possibility that the ghosts aren't ghosts at all. Well, maybe Anna is, but Vicky might not necessarily be a ghost. It might be something that only looks like Vicky or is taking Vicky's form because it's something that it knows it is familiar to Jeremy. But I suppose we will find out. I suppose we will find out about that later as time goes on. So Tyler gets into a huge confrontation. You can tell I'm leaving the Damon stuff and stuff for last. Tyler gets into a huge confrontation with his mother. He's been texting Caroline all day, wondering what the hell has happened to her. While he was unconscious, his mother called someone named Bill, I think it was, mysterious horn-rimmed glasses guy from Heroes, to come and take care of the problem. Didn't know at the time that he was Caroline's father, Mr. Forbes. She wants Caroline out of the picture. She doesn't want Tyler to get hurt, but she doesn't even really, I don't think she even really realizes the depth of what she's got herself into, or exactly what's happening around her. She only thinks that Liz can't handle it, so she's got to take care of it herself. But Liz knows twice as much as what Carol Lockwood knows. Carol Lockwood's just a complete fool. Anyway, Tyler blows up at her for dosing him with vervain, wanting to know what happened to Caroline because he hasn't been able to reach her all day. And she reveals, of course, that she knows Caroline's a vampire. She tries to pretend like she doesn't know what's going on, but I mean, he's like, "Mom, can we, move past the idea that I don't know about vampires? Come on now. We're not stupid here." So he looks at her in some abject state of shock, like, "You don't know about me, do you?" And she really doesn't. Mason never told her. Of course, his father never knew because his father never triggered the curse. He never killed anybody to become a werewolf. So he drags his mother down to the little cave where he transforms, and she's witness to it for the first time. So she sees in gruesome clarity just what he goes through every month. And she can't say that Caroline's a monster without calling her own son one, even though he's not. So she decides that she's been wrong, and she calls her friend to stop him from killing Caroline, but it's too late. He's already set. Then he's going to do it no matter what, even though he's kind of sick, considering that he's her father, but he's going to kill her anyway. Or worse, if you saw the preview, it looks like almost like he's going to torture her. Now to the big stuff. Stefan, Damon, and Elena. Elena initially didn't believe that Damon knew anything about this plan, but of course, Alaric being Alaric and as smart as he is, because he's not going to allow her to get hurt, he called Damon and let him know beforehand. So Damon followed them to the mountains of Tennessee, where Tyler let on that the pack was. So she's determined to follow him no matter what, at least until sundown. Damon's determined to get her out of there, sundown or
Mommy, I want you.
Or not. But and there's a very cute little scene where he throws her into the water and then wades in after her. determined to make her stop, but she doesn't want to listen. But she, of course, with Elena of the Pouty Eyes, manages to convince Damon not that he could withstand her or say no to her in any way, shape, or form. So they proceed to track Stefan. Stefan sees them first. Problem is that even though Roy has led them to his pack and Klaus turns them all, it doesn't work. For some reason, they all go rabid, especially Roy, and they start killing everybody, or at least trying to anyway. So Klaus sends Stefan after Roy to get rid of him, or at least to find him anyway, while he deals with the rest of the pack. It's the first time you ever see Klaus in a state of somewhat helplessness because he doesn't really know what to do. And there's a weird turn of phrase that he says that, I thought I was doing everything right. I did exactly as they told me. And you're like, who's they? Who is this mysterious they that explained to you his ritual? Maybe he's talking about Greta, the witches, I'm not really sure. Or the Jones family, not really sure. But I suppose we'll explore more of that later. Some stuff with Stefan, like I said earlier, he's definitely in a strong sense of control. He knows exactly what he wants to do, and he knows where he's going. He flat out says to Damon, no ifs, ands, or buts, he's never coming back, ever. And as I said before, it's not about the enjoyment for him. It was never about the enjoyment when he was the Ripper the first time around. It's the blood. He physically cannot stop. The blood is what controls him, the blood is what compels him. If he cannot have it, it will drive him crazy. And then he really will go, flip the switch emotionally bad. And from what I've been hearing about the rest of the season, I think it's heading in that direction. Right now at this time, he still feels remorse for his actions, but he does them anyway. He's going to get to a point pretty soon, I think, where he just feels nothing. He obviously still loves his brother. He tried to save his life, which causes Damon to change his mind and decide that Stefan is still worth saving. And he's going to drag him back from the abyss, no matter what it takes. But the thing is, I'm not sure if he's doing it for Stefan or more for Elena. I would suspect maybe bits of both, maybe more one than the other. Loved the scene with Elena and Damon. They have so many amazing scenes either on her porch or in her room. He's desperate to get her to admit why she wanted him to leave so badly. After she'd been so set that she wasn't leaving that mountain for anything, suddenly like that she changes her mind and decides that she wants to run out. She wants to run off and leave. And he finally gets her to admit it was because she was worried that he would get hurt by the werewolf. She didn't want him to get bit again. That yes, she does worry about him a lot. She wants to know why that's so important for him to know, and it's because he wants her to remember after he dragged his brother back from the brink what it felt like when he wasn't there. He doesn't want her to forget how she felt with Damon when Stefan wasn't around. And you can see by the look on her face, she is having a very hard time with this. I knew they were going to kiss in this scene, but the way he leans into her face with his forehead against hers, like they're so close. Elena is at a point where she pretty soon is going to have to make a decision. She's not going to be able to fight it. That choice is coming, and it's coming quick. Because I know you could tell by the look on her face, this was becoming more and more difficult for her to push away. Her feelings for Damon are growing, and she's just going to have to bite the bullet and deal with it. Lark finally comes out of his funk, his slump, and accepts the enchanted ring back to keep him safe so that he in turn can keep Elena safe. End part 1.